What it do, people, man? I'd like to welcome y'all to another edition of Know That Sport Podcast, man. Sponsored by Highlight Commodity. I got both my guys with me again, man. That boy Big Block Sport, man, and that boy Walt Stringer, man. What it do, Pimp Juice?
It's good.
Yo.
Oh, Lord.
He in the playoffs.
Man, we got two California teams in the playoffs. They don't even like sports in California.
Well, you know, the last time we had some shit like this, a divisional game. I think it was 2013 when like folks in the same division go to the go to the championship game, go to the Super Bowl. The last time they happened 2013. I forgot who it was. I want to say
Patriots Jets.
Nah, I want to say I think it was I want to say Green Bay, Chicago type shit. I want to say something like that. Or Green Bay, Minnesota, something like that. I think
if anything, it could have been Green Bay, Chicago when Cutler was there.
Yeah,
They did play in the NFC Championship when Cutler it was infamous that it was too cold for him outside.
He put out there and started riding the bike and shit like he was hurt.
Riding the bike like he was hurt.
You just call out one of the most biggest disappointments in the league. Jay Cutler. He had all the arm talent in the world, but he ain't got nothing to give a damn about the game. He ain't really care about the game like that, to me.
Wasn't he already a genius or something?
He already had something going on, and so he didn't care about the game as much as me. That's why I think he didn't scribe like he should. Because I don't throw the ball from here to goddamn making.
Yeah.
I don't have strong at all. But it worked. But it worked. Effort wasn't worth shit. It wasn't worth. I don't believe he cared about the game enough. But I know one thing though. Y'all got to try to find some kind of way to prove to me how in the hell Cincinnati gonna beat Kansas City, and how in the hell San Francisco gonna keep beating the Rams. Okay, so who gonna start this off? Who want to start it off?
Why would we not beat the Rams?
I'm gonna tell you why I feel why not you should not beat the Rams. Because I believe right now with the last 4 quarterbacks that's left, I think you got the weakest one.
The weakest. He called that man the weakest.
I mean, but you got to think about that's relative because you got to think about Patrick Mahomes is up here. You know what I'm saying? Joe Burrow is probably right behind him. Matthew Stafford has been in the league a long time. So it ain't when you say Jimmy G is the fourth worst, you make it seem like, oh, he a trash quarterback. I mean, he the fourth playoff caliber quarterback, I bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, a bunch of quarterbacks in playoff caliber right now. It's 30-plus quarterbacks right now that is not playoff caliber.
That's 100% right. But when I say right now, he's the fourth trash quarterback that's in there right now. He probably had the worst numbers out of everybody that left.
I mean, it depends on what numbers you talk about. Now,
we talking about completions. So we talking about passing yards. We talking about he probably got more interceptions than anybody that left.
He only been starting for like 2.5.
Whoa, he ain't got more interceptions than Stafford.
I'm talking about in the playoffs right now.
He might be close to Burrow
in the playoffs right now.
Burrow only threw one, and that one was a fluke.
I'm talking about in the season.
Oh, well, no, Joe threw 14.
Now we talking about right now. We ain't talking about in the season. If we talking about in the season, we know he got
all of a sudden he gonna be a different quarterback because they playing Kansas City in the playoffs. It's the same quarterback.
Who, Joe Burrow?
So you mean to tell me?
No, wait a minute. Now. We ain't about to start the Joe bashing. We ain't gonna start the Joe bashing. Now wait a minute. Joe threw one interception, and it was a fluke interception against Tennessee. He threw one interception his final 6 games of the regular season.
But that's what I'm saying. He threw interceptions in the regular season. Well, guess what? He threw an interception in the playoffs. Jimmy G threw interceptions in the regular season. He threw interceptions in the playoffs. He ain't gonna change just like that.
I think Joe Burrow's training for what the name is Jimmy G will.
I think we was talking about it too. They put a lot on Burrow, you know what I'm saying, to carry that team because the offensive line had a really hard time with Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I want to know how you gonna prove to me that Cincinnati gonna beat Kansas City. Jim, what you
You talking to me? I thought he was still trying to.
I know.
I'm
That's why I added
got excited with Joe Burrow. We still talk about the 49ers.
We still talking about Jimmy G. We're gonna hold you back from going where you gotta go.
Okay.
Jimmy G, boy.
Okay, let's think about it. All right, let's think about it like this though. We done beat the Rams with Nick Mullins. We done beat the Rams with CJ Beathard. We beat them with Jimmy G hella times. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the that we beat them, it's how we beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like by the second half, third, like this most recent game has been the closest game in this rivalry. Because usually by like the second quarter, it's a Rizzy. The first game was what, 31-10 or something?
So y'all ran about 40 sometimes.
Yeah. So
4 times. Now
I think it's a little bit of a different Rams team, right? I think OBJ is more versed in the offense than he was when we met them in that matchup. Von Miller looks a little more healthier, but on the secondary end, they down 2 safeties. They got Eric Weddle in there, or Taylor Rapp might be coming back. He crashed anyway. So really, all you got back there is Ramsey, and you got to think about just how we talked about with the Packers and we talked about with the Cowboys. It ain't gonna be Debo all the time, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be Ayuk on that deep crosser. It's gonna be Kittle on that slant that we run whenever we need a third down. They gotta stop it, and that's what it is about the 49ers. We gonna run it until you stop it. We not a team that get away from what worked. Defensively, offensively. If we're running the ball work, we gonna run the ball. We gonna run the ball. If playing cover 2, cover 3, and just rush or full work, we just gonna keep doing that. Where McVay, if something don't work, he keep doing it.
That's the guy.
Eventually it's gonna break.
It two reasons why I feel like y'all beat San Francisco, because y'all done beat them beat the Rams. Sorry.
Yeah.
Y'all done beat them like with 6 out of 6 straight games.
Yeah.
Two reasons for me. One is Kyle Shanahan. Right. Out of them 6 games, I believe he done outcoached McVay. I think he done outcoached McVay. Them 6 games. And y'all just been more physical than them.
True that.
Y'all been out physical than them. So now I'm looking at it like this for the Super Bowl, this for the money. I know y'all gonna bring physicality to the game. I know y'all gonna bring that. If the Rams can match that, like they just did the last game y'all played them, when they took on y'all 17-0, and you came in and won, if the Rams can match it, I think they got you.
I think the problem that with that is that they never gonna be able to relax. Because if you look at the last 2 games they done played, teams the Bucks came back from even more. You know what I'm saying? Than we did.
Yeah, but the thing about that though,
bro, they was out there with Scotty Miller, bro.
The Rams.
We got 3 receivers better than Scotty Miller. They was out there with Scotty Miller and Grunt who is like 1,900 years old.
But compared to that, the game you talking about, that Tampa Bay game. So what the name is? Sue? That name Sue?
Yeah.
Sue called the fumble. Winfield, what that boy name? Winfield?
Yeah.
Yep.
He called the fumble. What that boy number 23 is? I forgot their cornerback name. Forgot his name, number 23. He called the fumble on Cook. They hiked the ball and that's a fumble. Them 4 turnovers. If you take them 4 turnovers away, you can't take them away because the defense called all them. But if your defense don't call them 4 turnovers, they blow their ass out.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody about that the other day.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened. It's a full team game. So if the defense comes to the party and call turnovers, that's the fact.
You right.
And okay, speaking of defense, you don't think our defense can cause 4 turnovers? We caused 4 turnovers on 1 drive.
Yeah, but you know what though? I think the thing is, y'all got their number similar to how the Rams pretty much got the Cardinals number.
And the Seahawks got our number.
Your boy hurt too. Your boy might not play either. Oh man, they finna eat Jimmy G.
Well, I'm gonna say this too. I think sometimes matchups don't matter, and then sometimes you can just run into the wrong team at the wrong time. The Rams might just be hot.
With Trent Williams.
How
the Rams didn't play the other game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he didn't play that game. You're right.
I don't know, man.
And they jumped on you 17 now. They jumped on you 17 now. Don't forget that. They jumped on you 17 now.
And I think I'm not gonna sit here and say like we just gonna walk it there and they just gonna lay down. It's gonna be a good football game.
What the point spread is? What the point? Y'all know what the point spread is? I think it's
3.5.
3.5.
You get like 1.5 for home field, 2 something, sometimes 2.
The Rams said they got to have them 3, so that means they finna beat you by 7 or better.
Remember
Jimmy G got to give me 2 of them. I need 2 of them, Jimmy G. Appreciate you. I need 2 of them.
Y'all keep whipping interceptions on this man, and he be letting y'all down. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to whip for something else.
He done throw the 1. He just want to throw the 2 in one game. He done throw 1 each game. He just want to throw that 2. I need 2 in game.
But that's what Jimmy do after the picks. He, you know what I'm saying? He go into a little shit.
After he throw that pick, guys said that and stop calling that bullet. Josh said and stop calling pan play.
Hey, we focus on what works. We get a ball to Debo. We get a ball to George Kittle. Like
run the ball. That's what you do.
What's wrong with being a point guard? You know what I'm saying? That boy out there like Jason Kidd. You know, Jason Kidd could shoot it. Goddamn.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. But one thing about being that point guard out there, you got to make a shot eventually if you want to win it. You got to make a shot. You see what I'm saying? That's the same about Russell. Like since you brought up point guard, this is like Russell Westbrook for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Eventually, Russell Westbrook gotta make a jump shot if they want to go where they want to go. And if you can't make it, they ain't going. You see what I'm saying? Simple math.
But look at the Rams game. It was a minute 20 something left. We was down 20. What was it? 27, 24 or something.
And Jimmy G moved out
him down.
Yeah.
He made 4 big throws.
Yes. He made 4 throws. All 4 wasn't big. Now he just made 4 throws. One of them probably was big. Now that last one probably big. The one he scored a touchdown on, that was big. The other 2 was just nice quarterback throw that he threw. They wasn't big. Now.
Dang. You're trying to minimize your boy moments.
He done did one of you remember Eli threw the ball to
the David Tyree?
Yeah, he done throw one there. 4 big passes. Like he threw one.
Man, that boy completed the throws, man. Hey, listen, the point of the offense is to complete throws to get down the field to get in the end zone. Did the ends justify the means? Yes,
man. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right. I can't take that from you. Right. Von Miller. If the Rams put the ball in Jimmy G's hand like I think they're gonna do, I think the Rams gonna force Jimmy G to beat them. They finna eat him. They finna eat him. He gonna throw 2 interceptions and both of them gonna be cross the middle. In the middle of the field, gonna be cross the middle. Watch. Gonna be cross the middle. That's what he do.
That's what everybody keep waiting on, and here we are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, look, he did it, but your defense stayed down.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, what I would say is that probability wise, if you just look at the numbers, why wouldn't we beat the Rams? You know what I'm saying? Like the Rams, all the pressure's on the Rams. They put all these players, all these draft picks into this season. They know they're under pressure because your boy, remember Walt, we talk about it, his wife, Matthew Stafford's wife, on Twitter panicking about people buying tickets at the game and shit. So now in the press conference, niggas, yeah, because at first, the Rams blocked people from buying tickets from certain area codes in California because they didn't want 49er fans buying tickets. I'm telling you, them boys scared. Yeah. Now she talking about she about to buy up a bunch of tickets because she see that they real expensive and she gonna give them to hardcore Ram fans so that the 49er fans can't buy no ticket.
But get what though? Speaking of bringing up the fans and stuff like that, that's why I want to go to the Kansas City Cincinnati game.
Yeah.
Well, how in the hell you gonna explain to me how Joe Burrow gonna handle how Arrowhead gonna be shaking? Explain to me how Joe Burrow gonna handle that.
All right, I'm gonna say this. First of all, I'm gonna go back to the first time they played back in week 17
in Cincinnati.
Kansas City was healthy, and all I saw was Joe Burrow pretty much. Joe threw for 4 something. He had 4 touchdowns. They spreaded them out. Also, them cornerbacks was healthy for Kansas City too. They ain't all that healthy.
They were barbecue chicken.
They ain't all that healthy this Sunday. If we go and we look at
Dave Davis cooked them boys for 4 quarters.
If we go and look at the injury report, Clyde Edwards-Helaire shoulder. Oh, now listen, all of these guys practice. They had a full practice on Wednesday and Thursday. Everybody except for Darrell Williams, he was limited. And Tyrann Mathieu actually practiced on Sunday. He practiced Thursday.
He's gonna be all right. He come out because he's straight.
But looking at this, Clyde Edwards-Helaire shoulder, Rashad Fenton back, McCole Hardman hip, Tyreek Hill heel, Anthony Hitchens back, Chris Jones groin, Tyrann Mathieu concussion, LeJarris Sneed knee, Shavarius Ward neck, Darrell Williams toe. Like,
listen, all the names on them said, only thing that caught my attention, all the names on them. Johnson groin. Jones growing.
Yeah, but them two corners too.
I can feel you on that part.
Them two corners.
You get that covered up. We can cover that up.
You need a good neck and a good groin to run with some wide receivers out here. And stuff. It needs. So
if Jones ain't playing though, if Jones hurt, I ain't know the report with that deep. If Jones going be a problem,
well,
you Cincinnati can go out there and beat them now.
Yeah. I think they can.
That's what I work. See, that's the part. That's the part I'm banking on. I'm banking on that crowd noise, helping cornerbacks out. So that means I'm going to get some false starts, some 1st and 15s. I'm saying maybe some 1st and 20s, some 2nd and 20s. I'm saying with holding calls and shit. And for Jones and that defense to eat their offensive line. But without Jones, they can't eat the offensive line without Jones.
Well, I was going to say that too. I think as bad as Cincinnati's offensive line played against Tennessee, Tennessee also believes in bringing more than 4 people. Like sometimes they bring 6 people. So the Chiefs defensively don't really do that much. They try to bring a lot of pressure with just that front that they got out there. So I don't think necessarily Joe gonna have to worry about running for his life as much against Kansas City as he did against Tennessee. Plus, I just don't see that offensive line playing as bad as they played last week. That's pride on the line now. And you think they didn't hear that shit all week? Like Joe Burrow got his ass kicked last week.
Who you talking? I know.
I don't believe there's any possible way they perform as bad.
Quarterbacks in the league.
He wasn't sacked 9 times though in one game this season. I'm talking about, I don't think they perform as bad.
They ate him.
If they protect him, if they can keep him upright to about maybe 3 sacks at the most, maybe 4, I don't see how Kansas City can stop them offensively. Not to mention, Cincinnati threw the ball as much as they did. Joe Burrow was 30 or 39 for them folks.
The first time they played him.
Yes, and Mixon only had 12 carries. Mixon only had 12 carries because that secondary for Kansas City was barbecue chicken.
You're right.
All day long.
You're right.
And now Cincinnati has a chance. They know we got Mixon out here. We can come out here. We can play ball control. Is Kansas City willing to play ball control? Is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, is he able to actually play 4 quarters?
They ain't doing it. I ain't see that. I ain't worried about the running game. They running game is hype. Got that Patrick Mahomes run around and find somebody. I said they don't have the ball off nowhere. Yeah. They don't do that. I ain't worried about that part. What only thing scared me is what you just said about. I didn't know Joe Mixon didn't touch the ball 12 times. I didn't know that. I know they beat him, but I know they beat him by 3 points in Cincinnati.
Yep, 34-31.
Yeah, they beat him by 3 points in Cincinnati. And I just see Kansas City coming out with the same way they played against Buffalo. And when it boiled down to it, the way Josh Allen was playing, Patrick Mahomes had just made it minor. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs just made it minor. Like, look, as long as they don't get the ball more than we do, we gonna win. And that's what happened. I think they're gonna do Cincinnati. We're gonna have a big old shootout, big old over there dude. But I'm gonna take the ball more than you. As long as you don't take the ball more than me, I'm gonna win. Because same way you can't stop, I can't stop you, as they say, you dumb show can't stop me.
Well, that's where ball control and time of possession come into play. Is Kansas City willing to do what it takes to actually keep Cincinnati off the field? Because Cincinnati willing to do
it. But the question is, if they're willing to do that, if you fuck around and do the ball control and you fuck around and go 3 and out because of that, you done call when you should attack, what you gonna try to we're gonna ball control. We gotta keep Patrick Mahomes. run the ball, and stop him.
I doubt if them 3 and outs consistently happen unless that offensive line has another breakdown like they had against Tennessee. But if Kansas City can't get the Burrow, it's over with. Because if you can't get the Joe, that and you allow them to mix the run in too.
If I was Cincinnati, I wouldn't even come with the run.
But try to attack them the same way.
Yes, now I ain't think Cincinnati win. I like Kansas City. I'm just saying if I was controlling Cincinnati, I'm finna go back and look at the same film I played last time. Cause one thing about it, that boy Chase had 236 yards. Boy, you got to goddamn account for that shit. If you got that at 236 yards, boy, we finna go back to that same well. Boy, have you fixed that well yet? Because we finna go drink out that motherfucker. I'm gonna see if you done fixed it. Now, if you done fixed it, now I can run the ball because I know you got 2 niggas over there to stop home. You know what I'm saying? But I'm coming out with the same game plan to see can y'all fit it. And if you can't fix it, now you got a problem.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think Jesse Bates is probably the biggest factor for them. Because Bates, Jesse got paid, but Jesse had like a kind of a shaky season, first half of the season. Jesse Bates been a lot better the past few weeks. He had that interception, of course, the first play of the game last week.
Yeah,
against Tennessee.
He played safety.
Yeah.
He fed out on Julio number 20. I think he's number 20.
Yeah.
Who's at number 22? Barbecue chicken.
That's why I don't think Cincinnati. Like
I think this shit gonna be too big.
I'm gonna say this. I think
it's gonna be too big for him, bro.
We just watched Patrick Mahomes barbecue, like literally flame torch the #1 defense in the NFL. I don't know where Cincinnati. I don't know where Cincinnati is ranked in defense, but
it ain't number 1. I think this shit gonna be too big for him, bro. So I think it's gonna be too big. This shit gonna be too big.
I'm gonna say this, man. That team last week heard about how bad the offensive line was, went out there and had a bad game, had a bad showing. If you look at everything else, they pretty much cleaned everything else. All we heard all last week was Derrick Henry was going to come back, Henry back. Henry about to run all over them. Man, they held Henry under 100 yards. They held Henry under 70 yards. Matter of fact, didn't they hold him under 60? Or did they hold him right to 60?
I know they put his ass on convict.
It was low. It was low.
Just speak on that part about the Derrick Henry. The other boy, number 7, Home had 4 carries for goddamn like 45, 50 yards.
Yeah.
You got to keep giving him the goddamn ball. You got to get him the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's coaching. That's Mike Vrabel. That's coaching. You got to get him the ball. If a man got 4 carries for 40-some yards or better, it sounds like 10 yards a touch to me. So saying 8 yards or 9 yards a touch to me. So give him the ball. So you trying to ride him. Him ain't played in 9 goddamn weeks. But the nigga that been with you all year, he's second. You gotta give him the ball. I put it on coaching. So that's coaching. One thing about Andy Reid, we ain't gotta worry about Andy Reid not giving the folk the ball who need the ball. We ain't gotta worry about that. We gotta worry about that part.
Yeah, I think, man, even when we look at the injury report, even if all of those guys for the Kansas City Chiefs play, they all still nicked up. So therefore, I think
y'all nicked up.
Who?
I ain't one person I ain't here. And long he nicked up and little flash out there with it. Or somebody who can run a 4-2, they can take the cover off. He gonna eat you underneath all day. And you know what I'm talking about.
Tyreek?
Kelsey. Yeah. Nothing wrong with him. He's still dancing and shit ain't. He's still dancing. Nothing wrong with him. So long as Tyreek here can get on the field, long as what that boy name is, Hartman, long as he get on the field, so they can be a decoy to run that fly route, and you got to go with them, Kelsey gonna eat you underneath. How they gonna get pressure on Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, but Hartman can't catch, and neither can Pringle. So I ain't too much worried about.
They can't catch at all.
I ain't too much worried about them catching over their shoulders.
I ain't asking them to catch it. I just ask them to take your man.
Clear out.
Yes, that's all. That's the only thing you see them do. Every time you see you gonna see Hill go if Hill go underneath, Kelsey going up top.
I'm gonna say this. If I'm defending Kansas City, whether I'm Cincinnati, the Rams, 49ers, or whoever, I cannot allow that little short dude to get 11 catches for 150 and 2 or 3 touchdowns on him. That right there ain't gonna happen.
And when you stop that, get what happens. Now Kelsey get them same catches.
I would rather deal with Kelsey than to have to deal with Kelsey and him, because typically when Tyreek start acting the fool, Kelsey end up acting the fool too.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna take out somebody, it gotta be Tyreek. It gotta be Tyreek. I'm gonna play a whole lot of cover too. I'm gonna double him. I'm gonna bracket that boy for majority of the game. I'm gonna put a Woozy, even though you don't like a Woozy. You don't like him.
He don't eat him.
Listen.
It's very important for Kansas City's defense that Tyrann Mathieu play, because you saw as soon as he went out the game, Josh Allen
start eating.
But listen, right, and a lot of that was blown coverages and just dudes in weird positions, and then other times they just straight up cross them boys over. But I think Tyrann Mathieu is going to be critical for that defense if they want to be able to make it a hard-fought football game. If they want to get it to another shootout, it don't really matter if Mathieu played, because I think they can still win it a shootout. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be real tough for Cincinnati because they have talent, but they don't have the experience, right? Even if you think about the coaching staff, the coordinators, the position coaches, you know what I'm saying? Like the players, the people on the sideline that prep the players for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like they know what it takes to get the team to this point and to get them ready for a game like this. This is all new to Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying?
And I know after my team, you gonna say the same thing they said to the coach. They talked to Cincinnati coach. They finna play Tennessee. But this your first game, and what did you do different? We just did the same thing, and it's just another football game. It's the AFC Championship game.
And they won. Like sometimes.
Right, I ain't talking about Tennessee. I ain't saying they ain't win that game. You're right. You won. Yeah. That what the man said. And they went out there and won. Boy, them folks in Arrowhead, it gonna be loud. It's the AFC Championship.
Patrick Mahomes.
Kansas City gonna walk in. Kansas City gonna walk in there like they just coming. Kansas City gonna walk in there like they just coming to work.
I mean, if you Cincinnati, that's the attitude you gotta have too.
You supposed to have the attitude. It's hard to have the attitude if you ain't never been there before. You see what I'm saying?
Mahomes could probably throw 3 picks and they would still throw like 6 touchdowns.
Well, look, I'm gonna say this. Cincinnati's young as hell on offense, not so much on defense. They got veterans on defense who've been around the league too, who've been in some playoff games before. Now the head coach, no. The quarterback, no.
You see what I'm saying? So I won't be surprised if I see a Dallas Cowboys San Francisco game. I ain't talking about the scope. I'm talking about goddamn plays be called by Cincinnati, and you like, what you doing? Fucking call that. You trip this shit too big for you. This shit I got. You can tell by your play call too big for you.
You know what though? Sometimes ignorance is bliss. It's sometimes being too ignorant to understand you ain't supposed to be here. Can't help you. It can help you.
That means you play free.
Yeah, and I think that's going to happen with Cincinnati. I think when it come down to it, who can control that clock a little more?
You know, Kansas City ain't trying to control it. They're trying to go up T. They ain't trying to control it. They're trying to go up T. They don't care about control.
I don't think it's going to be some weird offensive explosion. They can. But I mean, like, weird things happen, man. You know, Hendrickson's playing. They still got the second leader, sacker in the NFL playing, so they got people.
If he don't get the Patrick Mahomes, that man I was thinking about. I couldn't say his name. The boy come from New Orleans, the Cincinnati guy.
Yeah,
if he do not get the text Patrick Mahomes, they defense in for a long day.
I don't know. I think it's the main thing is the fact that Cincinnati got to go on the road. If this game was in Cincinnati,
whole different ball game.
Probably would be.
I still like Kansas City though, because I think I still like Kansas City. But I have a little faith in Cincinnati. Like they is at the crib, whatever. They both comfortable. They woke up in their bed, woo shit like that. But I'll be like, shit, Kansas City. I've seen this shit before too. But at the crib, man,
I know, man.
Kiss the old lady before he comes to damn everything. Have Kansas City sit there and have deep breath with the old lady before he. They at home.
I just think this Bengal team a little different, man. They just feel a little different. They done beat some people this season too. Yeah. So it's like
They lost to some people too. Now hold up.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I watched.
Man, everybody got no lighter flu. Everybody
Hey.
got no light. Then we gonna do when Jimmy G got that go out there. We gonna set all the motherfuckers on fire. So say every last one on. We'll set all of them on fire.
But I think, the 49ers, and I picked y'all to beat them back in week 15, I think.
Something like
I believe
that,
I picked y'all to beat them because y'all better than them at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. And I think that's the only type of team that's really going to be able to beat Cincinnati. Like if Cincinnati gets past the Rams, gets past the Chiefs, and they have to play like the Rams or somebody. All hell might eat them. The Rams gonna
eat them.
Or even San Francisco, like playing San Francisco again. But who knows?
I don't even want to say that. Baby. I know the Rams gonna eat them. The Rams gonna eat them. If the Rams play Cincinnati, the Rams gonna eat them.
Or if the Rams get past Frisco, if they slay that Giant, it's over with. Stafford probably winning. Unless they play Kansas City. I ain't so sure they'll beat Kansas City.
That'll be a good matchup. That'll be the matchup.
Well, that's the matchup everybody want to see. Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City and LA.
And I know if Patrick Mahomes see that barbecue chicken again that he seen 2 years ago, he finna eat that shit. They see he seen 2 years ago. And it worse than the world then. He finna eat.
Was you watching the game?
I'm talking about 2 years ago. You know, 2 years ago, y'all go to Super Bowl 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, we was up 20-10 with 6 minutes. Don't act like they
I know.
running up and down.
I'm not saying that for
45 points.
What y'all was up by?
It was 20-10.
Who won the game?
They won.
So that's why I said Patrick Mahomes see that barbecue chicken again. You know, because he came back from 10 point down and beat you. I believe he'll probably do that again. This time it won't be no 10. This time we're gonna see Jimmy G come back for 10. See what I'm saying?
we got a different team. You know what I'm saying? We got experience. Think about it. That was Bosa first year. That was like Fred Warner, like first or second year at middle linebacker. That was like Sherman at fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like out there getting burnt by Sammy Watkins. Like,
well, so what's the deal on Aubrey Thomas?
So far, he in line to play. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, I think Dante Johnson played pretty good against Devontae Adams last game. I mean, he still had like 9 catches for 90 yards or something. But
so now you finna see the second day wide receiver. He did good with the first. Now you finna see the second one.
Cup ain't do nothing the first game. Cup ain't do nothing the first game. He didn't do nothing the second game either.
He about to do, ain't he?
No, he had a touchdown. No, he did have a touchdown.
If he ain't did, then he about to do, ain't he?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to know if he about to do. He ain't did nothing. I'm gonna say he about to do. He about to do.
All I know is this.
It ain't happening.
That spread is -6?
Oh yeah, how many points against Cincinnati before we get out of here, man? How many points against Cincinnati?
7.
I see -6.5.
They get him 6.5. You said 7 block. Y'all think 51. I already know you think Cincinnati gonna win the game. So do you think Kansas City gonna cover them 7 block?
Nah, I think they'll win by like 3.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna be the one to go out on them. I'm gonna say they cover them 7 points. I think the inexperience and being on the road, they're gonna be loud. I think Kansas City cover them 7 points. What you said over and under Walt?
51.
51.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna up the score.
I got Cincinnati winning the game and by maybe a field goal, 4 points, something like that. I think it's gonna be a real close game. I don't think it's gonna be high scoring either.
So you don't think they up 51?
Well, no, I don't. I think it's gonna be a different type of game. I don't see either of these games being blowouts. I think it's gonna be a closely contested game because I think both teams are gonna attempt to run the football.
I don't think Kansas City gonna attempt to run the football. That ain't what they do. They just like me saying time to tell you Buffalo gonna see them run the football. That ain't what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see that. I can't go for it. I don't think I can see Cincinnati time to do that because they got to run back to do that. But I don't see they what it is Kansas City run game is screens. I mean reverses and shit like that. But I think they up the scope. I'm saying I think they covered 7 points, so they could beat them by at least 8 or maybe 10 or something like that. I think the inexperience gonna make. That's why I say they'll beat them by 7.
You probably right, and then considering the fact that the Bengals were fifth against the run in the league this year.
So they ain't no run the ball. They throw the ball. What you think it go? You think it'll be a low scoring game, or you think it'll go 51 block?
30-27, Kansas City.
30-27. So they up the score. That's over 51, right?
57. Yeah, I think that's over.
I say they say over. You say they go under. Block say they go over. You think what on? Got 3 minutes. What how the San Francisco Rams? What over under is on it?
47.
I say under.
Yeah.
Division game.
I say over.
I say division game under. What is it? 3.5 points.
I got 4.
We gonna cover that.
4. Against San Francisco 4.
Yeah.
No, they get.
I
I don't know, man.
I said under and the Rams. I said under and the Rams don't cover them 4. I said the Rams win their game, but they don't cover them 4.
I'll take the over. I'll take the over simply because I think the field gonna be clean. They out there in California. The weather gonna be pretty decent. It's gonna be it's gonna be the game not gonna be ugly the way it was up in Lambeau. So I'll take the over on that. And I think the Rams just hot right now, man. Even though the 49ers, they know them for beating their ass, the Rams look hot right now. But this game right here, even though with each passing week, I say, all right, this is the biggest game for Stafford. No, this is the biggest game for Stafford. If Stafford go out there in this game and look the way he looked in the other 2 games against San Francisco, because remember, Stafford ain't played well against San Francisco historically in his career, period.
Yeah.
So if he go out there and he stink up the joint, it's over. But
I gotta make a prediction on Stafford too.
Yeah.
I gotta make a prediction on Stafford too. I say Stafford don't throw down. I say Stafford don't throw no interception this game too. He don't throw down this game too. Stafford ain't gonna throw down this game. Jimmy G throw 2. Stafford don't throw.
20-14 San Francisco.
It sound real good.
20-14.
So you say under, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we both say we got the under.
We're gonna cover that spread.
I don't think the Rams gonna cover them. Walt say he go over. Hey,
yeah, I'm thinking
man.
more like 28-24.
28-24?
Yeah.
Okay. That's over. Yeah, you said over. Hey man, y'all let these folks know how to get in touch with y'all, man. Block hit these folks first, man. Walt, you hit them and we out of here, man. Boo the hell.
Hey, appreciate you. Big Block Sports anywhere you listen to podcasts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Big Block Sports. Appreciate you.
Goats and Rings. Just like that. You can type it in for YouTube. You can type it in at Goats Rings for Twitter. And also you can find me on Instagram. That's WS_4Mayor. That's the number 4, MAYOR.
Hey man, y'all know it's your boy Moore Drive, man. Represent Know That Sport to the fully. I fuck with folks who fuck with me. Know that if you don't know nothing else. Shaking it.
Yes, sir.